no little bits of poop floating around, and that would not transmit to the water. But this is one of those little weirdsies that we were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And little weirdsies is a little bit, credit, of course, to Linda Holmes, our friend, for inventing this term, which I think encapsulates it perfectly. The only imperfection about it is that it seems a little diminishing, right? There's nothing little about a little weirdsie. If you feel it, you feel it. And if you're causing no one else any harm, then there's no reason not to respect that feeling. It's like, it smells like poop in here and I don't want to drink water out of this thing. I'd rather wait.
It's hard enough to get yourself to drink water in the first place. It's boring.
Yeah.
It's tedious. It tastes worse than other things.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. If there was a sparkling water faucet in a public bathroom,
yeah,
I'd drink straight out of it.
No
water bottle invited. Mouth on the handle.
Oh, yeah.
But that's you, Jesse Thorne. That's you.
No, that's true. I'm normal, and we're talking about weirdsies.
I think, here's the thing, though. I think the point of a relationship as intimate as a marriage is specifically to get close enough to someone that you can say, here are my weirdsies. Love me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the whole point. That's
what
the only reason.
What a beautiful thing to say.
To be with another person.
Yeah, because otherwise it's really a pain in the digestive tract hole. To be with another person. I mean, there are obviously intrinsic benefits and sort of unexplainable, magical things to sharing your life with someone else. But if you're expecting the other person to adjust to your own weirdsies, which you mask as rationality, if you're expecting someone to click the ballpoint pen in the way you need the ballpoint pen to be clicked, and mask your weirdsie as the only scientific right way to do a thing, is punitive and strange. And what Emily Heller said, I think everyone should listen to again and again. Hit your 15-second rewind button on your podcast machine. Just
maybe
listen
a few
to it
times.
over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Listen, full disclosure, I had therapy this morning. So I'm approaching this from a much rawer, more emotional place than I would on a different day. But I just think the world is so beautiful and messed up that we need to love each other.
Thanks, Emily.
You can cut that out.
I agree with you. No.
No, I think we're cutting all the rest of the show out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just going to be a one-sentence podcast, finally. I mean, preference in food, in art, in music, in where we go to shop, what kind of experience we want to have when we go out into the world, knowing what makes us feel gross and knowing what makes us feel good. This isn't about adhering to a hashtag to be morally consistent.
Hashtag moral consistency.
Sure, thank you very much. This isn't about
Hashtag van life.
This isn't about adhering to a completely strict, rational, logical order in order to honor science or logic in some way. You develop preferences in order to survive, in order to make life more happy and less sort of miserable to get through. And when you know that you don't like something, that's not easy to know. But when you know you don't like it and you avoid it, that's great. And it's not easy to even know what you like, right? Because there are a lot of people telling you what you should like and what you shouldn't like. When you know what you like and you go and you get it, that's great too. Preference is a survival tactic. It is not an arbitrary, irrational thing. So long as your preferences don't hurt other people, and so long as you're like Emily Heller, you're talking to yourself, you're talking to your therapist, or whoever it is in your life, and you're getting to know that your preferences are real and not just stuff that you've inherited from an upbringing or from a commercial or something.
We also heard from past litigant Laura from episode 161, Cold Case. Her dispute at the time, and that's quite some time ago now, was about whether or not to run the air conditioning. But the case was also the catalyst for one of our tenets of settled law. John, do you want to share the tenet in question,
yes,
since it was one that you determined?
I was so happy to hear from Laura. You may recall that Laura was living with her then boyfriend in Germany, and she wanted to get an air conditioner and he did not. And we talked about the cultural differences between Europe and America with regard to air conditioning, and eventually they did not get an air conditioner. But I learned during that case that they lived within driving distance of a massive indoor German water park housed in a former Zeppelin factory. And they had not yet been to it. And I got angry at them about it. And so it's now settled law in this court that if you are within 250 miles of a German water park that is housed in a former Zeppelin factory, it is mandatory that you visit it. And send me the bill if you have to. But she was writing in this case about a dispute, Emily Heller, that we had with regard to proper etiquette when you're in a shared space like a workspace and the bathroom door is closed and you don't know if there's someone in there and it's a single-use bathroom. Do you knock on the door or do you jiggle the handle to check if it is locked?
And you know it's a single-use bathroom?
Yeah, there's only one facility in there. There's one hole for your digestive tract hole.
You knock.
Knock. Of course you knock. You don't jiggle the handle. That's going to freak someone out.
No, I'm a handle jiggler. I think it's less freaky than knocking.
Oh, well, let's hear what Laura had to say about this very dispute. Jesse Thorne, will you read the letter, please?
There's significant debate about this in my office, which has a particularly bad bathrooms to people ratio. One of our coworkers has started responding to knocks with, "Come in." I really like this as an alternative to the options you discussed because it turns the table. It makes the knocker feel weird and uncomfortable. We don't know who this coworker is because people usually flee the bathroom upon hearing that reply.
I love the mystery bathroom ghost who goes, "Come in." I endorse that solution. So this was episode 161. We're now on episode 400 something. This is like ancient history. And as much as I am grateful to Laura for writing in, I'm mad at her because she didn't let me know. She went to the water park and took pictures. And it's the most.
And she didn't tell you about it?
She didn't tell me about it. Like, we're not the oldest friends.
So how did you find out about the pictures?
I just said, "Did you ever go to that water park like I told you to do?" And she said, "Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you."
As if you had no stake in this?
Yeah, it's like as if we hadn't shared life together. And of course, we have Laura's pictures from Tropical Islands Water Park in Germany on our show page at MaximumFun.org and on our Instagram.com/Judge John Hodgman. You can check them out there.
Emily, your brand new stand-up comedy special is going to be on all of Comedy Central's digital platforms on March 8th. That's March 8th.
International Women's Day.
Please, no men watch it unless she's unhappy with the numbers, in which case, please do.
I am at your mercy.
The docket is clear. That's it for another episode of Judge John Hodgman. Our producer is the ever-capable Ms. Jennifer Marmer. Follow us on Twitter at Jesse Thorne and at Hodgman. We're on Instagram at Judge John Hodgman. Hashtag your Judge John Hodgman tweets, hashtag JJHO. And check out our Maximum Fun subreddit at MaximumFun.reddit.com to discuss this episode. If you've got a case for Judge John Hodgman, we want to hear it. You can submit it at MaximumFun.org/JJHO or just email Hodgman@MaximumFun.org. We'll talk to you next time on the Judge John Hodgman podcast.
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture. Artist owned.
Listener supported. Hello, everyone. This is your Judge John Hodgman. Today's episode of the podcast was recorded live in Portland, Oregon, at the Aladdin Theater with our special musical guests, Mascaras. We had a great time visiting with everyone in Portland. It's truly one of the most Portlandy shows that we've ever had.